Hello, this is Nancy from Nancy's Leathercraft and Bag Making. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys some items I made from this wet mold that I got from buckleguy.com. And I made these trays, and this is probably I think this was the first one I made that I liked. It was 2 pieces of leather, and then you wet molded it, and then you trimmed it, of course, and then this is hand sewn around the edges and everything. This was the first one, and I've got some creases here and everything, so I've learned how to do it a little bit better. But this was the wet mold that I got from buckleguy.com here. And so anyway, I made about 3 of them this size, and then I made a bigger one. You can either get rectangular ones like this one, or you can get oval ones. But I got to thinking, how many trays can you make, right? I could probably make a bunch, but it gets kind of boring. But so I saw another video on a wet mold, and it was Quarter Leather YouTube on a video that they made, and he made a pouch actually. So I went ahead and because these are pretty expensive, and it'd be nice to be able to do more than one thing, so I made this pouch. And let me open it up here. So I actually used the wet mold to mold this outside piece here. And so basically I got my leather kind of wet, and then I put it alongside here. Now it's stretched, and it actually had kind of a neat effect when you put it in the wet mold, that it made this a little curved here, right here. So it made that kind of at a curve, which actually I kind of like. I also have some scars here, which I like. But anyway, so this pouch I made, and just some features of it, I used a clasp that I got from Walk Person Bag Hardware that I got from them. And this one is antique brass here. So I'll go over how I did that. And then, of course, there's the inside of it there. And then it has a belt loop here in the back with some brass rivets. These are all brass, or finishes and antique brass that I got from Buckle Guy, same place I got this wet mold. I use Buckle Guy for all my hardware and stuff. And then I went ahead and used chisels that I got from Maker's Leather Supply. These are 6 stitches per inch. So I used that on there. And then I used a Ritza tiger thread. And I used one. I like it chunky on something like this. I really like it chunky. So that's hand stitched. So anyway, let me show you how I did some of this. Okay, for this clasp that I used here, it's got 2 parts to it. Of course, the female part here, and then the male part. But anyway, I got this from Waywalk that I mentioned to you. And let me get it here. Okay. It's got this piece here. Now this is you can get different finishes on it. And this is one that I got that's a gunmetal. I really like that. That'd be beautiful on a black one. But anyway, that's this. So what you have to do is, let me get my screwdriver here. Get a little screwdriver here and take this off. I found out that when I did this, you gotta be careful with these little screws because, oh my gosh, you'll lose them and then that'll be it. Anyway, so you've got to cut a hole out of this. It's basically out of the leather, of course. All right, come on, get out of there. There. That is as big as that right there. But you don't want it, you want the oval to cover these screw holes here. But you would like it just to fit right in there. So what I did, I made a template here. Here's a template. And so that fits right in there like that. Now how I did this, I had gotten some dies. Here, show you these. From actually Amazon. They weren't real expensive, but one of the dies in here, let me get this out of here. We're done with that. One of the dies right here had to fit in there, so I had to do it twice. I had to push it in there like that and push it in there like that, and then I just cut a hole, centered it up of course, and then I cut a hole in there, and then I screwed it together. Okay, now how I did that, when I lined that up, I used a 8-ton hydraulic press that I got from Buckle Guy. And then I just put a metal plate on top of this and then press that down in there, and it cut it in there real good. So that was the female part of it. Now the male part is just basically these two pieces. So you straighten these out, and I put it in that first one there like that. So I needed slits in my leather here that matched up with that. Okay, so what I did, and I've been looking for these at Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, I found these Japanese flat chisels here. And I made this pouch for them, but this is a 25 millimeter, this is a 6 millimeter, 8, 12, 20, and 25. And really, I just had to use this 6 millimeter one here. So I just got this one out. Isn't that nice? Look at that. They're all basically like that. But anyway, so I cut a hole in there, marked it, and then cut a slit in the leather for that. And I put it in there, or cut it, and then marked it. Now, for the back, then, I actually, to get this real steady, so it's on there really good, I cut another piece of leather and put, so my bag went there, then I put another, then I put this, then I put another piece of leather there and then bent it over, and then I went and I actually glued that on there with contact glue. I don't know if you can see it or not. But anyway, and then I put a piece of lining leather, real thin leather over that, so it's real smooth. So that worked out really well. So It's a nice class. Now, I make a lot of shotgun shell holders and pouches and all that kind of stuff. And one of my buddies, he says, this looks like a Perazzi trigger pouch. And I says, okay, that sounds good. On the back of this belt loop here, I went ahead and put some tan coat under there. Tan coat to make it so it's real, so your belt won't get caught, so that's real smooth. Now, I did not do that to the inside because I kind of like the look of that. And this was a nice piece of leather. Look at that. I haven't done anything to that, and it's really smooth. I don't know where I got that, but I kind of like this scar here. That's cool. I was thinking about maybe antiquing that, but then it'd probably mess up the whole thing. So it'll get cooler over the years. I did put some Canova cream on it. I did do that. Put some Canova cream, and then I finished this off with I sanded it, beveled the edges real good, and sanded it, and then burnished the edges with water first, and then I used Tokonole on it. So anyway, that's that. So it's another use for my wet molds. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like. I would appreciate it. Thank you.